Hey everybody, welcome to the Let's Play Leak. I'm John as always, and we're back in the Kerbal space program. Last time, you may remember, we unsuccessfully rescued Moeb Kerman, who, if we take a look in the Space Center, should still be orbiting far up here in this really hard to reach orbit. So what I didn't take into account was the fuel, the delta V, the change in thrust, as it were, required to extend your orbit kind of, outwards isn't all that difficult. Doesn't take that much fuel. But to tilt your orbit takes a ton of fuel because you're burning at 90 degrees to the direction that you're going. You're creating momentum in a direction in which there is zero momentum, and that requires a hell of a lot more fuel. So Moeb Kerman is going to stay out there for probably a few years. We'll hopefully get him someday before the contract expires and we consider him lost. But we're going to go after somebody again, but hopefully much more successfully. If we go and check out the contracts, we have Kerbal Kerman and we have Tomnard Kerman. Both of these are trivial contracts. They pay out significantly less than the Moeb Kerman one did. The Moeb Kerman one has significant prestige, and that's because it's so difficult. These guys, however, are in low Kerman orbit, so we're going to rescue Kerbal, just because I like the name Kerbal more than I like the name Tomnard. So we're going to accept that contract. Now, one other thing that I've done is I have unlocked another level of science. We unlocked electrics. We did not know about electricity before inventing spaceflight. The big breakthrough here was combining the two. So we got, very importantly, a probe core. So this is something that allows us to fly a ship without a pilot, without anybody in it at all. And this one's better than the original one that we have because it has a reaction wheel in it, which means that we can tilt the craft. We can actually maneuver it, which is pretty important. Also very important is we have photovoltaic panels, more commonly known as solar panels. These will allow us to continuously regenerate electricity as long as we have sunlight. And of course we have a rechargeable battery for that electricity to go into. If we're flying a ship with nobody there, it's going to require a whole lot of electricity to keep running and to switch itself all around. But this should allow us to build a ship. I'm going to build a ship and I'll rejoin you guys once that ship is built. Alright, here we are with our ship, and it looks kind of like a fairly normal ship. It's got the two stages that are going to come off. Now I'm actually using solid boosters here, and they're going to launch. We're going to throw them off, and then we're going to launch with the second booster. We've got our usual liquid fuel stages in here to help us get up and help us get into orbit and whatnot. The difference with this one is we have a probe core up here. We have a core that's going to control the ship. We don't actually need to have a pilot in here at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the crew and we're going to say, Jebediah, get out. We're going to control this just on our own. Now, one thing I just noticed I forgot here, which I should throw on, is some batteries. So we're going to go to utility. Yes, utility. That battery pack's a little bit small, so let's take two of these outside guys and throw them on there. And that looks good. Those may or may not burn up in the atmosphere, but we'll see. We'll see. But that should get us into the low Kerbal orbit that we need. So we're going to launch this ship. All right, so here we are on the launch pad. You can see there's no Kerbal in the bottom right-hand corner because this is an unmanned flight. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on SAS. Second thing we're going to do is not launch. We're going to check the map and see where our Kerbal is that we're going to be saving. We've got Guskar, which is strange because I thought it was Tomnard. But I don't know who Guskar is. I did not see a contract for him. But we have Kerbal out here. So Kerbal is over there, and we're on Kerbal right now. If we launched right now, this would be a much longer rescue mission. What we want to actually do is have Kerbal be, kind of here. We want to be relatively close to him by the time we get up. So we can speed up time full blast if we want to, while we're sitting on the surface of Kerbal. We're not going to speed it up full blast because that would result in these guys just whipping around the planet. We'll do it 100 times here. And you can see Kerbal is spinning as well. So we're going to slow down time maybe here. So he's above-ish us at the moment. So we're going to launch. So we've got SAS on, and we're going to go. And this should be a fairly normal ascent to orbit. So I'll speed this up a little bit for you guys. Alright, so we're rising up. We're going to reach our orbit. We see Kerbal is at 76,000 in his orbit. So we're going to go maybe to, I don't know, maybe 85 or so. And we'll do our orbit a little bit above him. And we'll stretch our maneuver node out, get it to roughly circular 93, 85. Can we get that a bit more circular? 88, 85. Yeah, that works for me. That works for me. So we're going to be doing a 41-second burn in this direction. I don't know if we have it in this fuel tank, but I think we should be okay for this orbit. But let's get this ship to orbit. So T minus 20.5 seconds is what we're looking for. T minus 20.5. Speed up time. Whoops. Speed up time. Here we go. T minus 20.5. We're going to go full blast right now. Do we have 41 seconds? Not in this fuel tank, we don't. So we're going to have to hope that the recalculation for our smaller fuel tank isn't too wildly off the expected burn. Well, it looks like we've gotten through at least half of our burn on this fuel tank. There's not going to be too much left. There it goes. 24 seconds. Yeah, it's not going to be too wildly off. We should be okay-ish. Okay-ish is what I'll leave it at. Let's actually ditch this maneuver node for the time being. And we'll also set... well, we'll set that when we have more time to think about it. So we're going to extend, and we're going to just speed up ever so slightly. So I'm going to bring up the nav ball so I can control the throttle from here. And we're just going to punch it up a little tiny bit. Get that to 85. Whoa, I pushed the wrong button, and I throttled up full blast. So we need to pull that back in a little bit. X is turn off throttle. Z is max throttle. I had that backwards. So we're going to need to pull this back around. 96, 85, 90, 80, 88... 82. Perfect. And so we're above Kerbal Kerman at the moment. So what's going to happen is Kerbal's going to be moving faster than us, which is unfortunate because that means we're going to have to circle the Earth, I believe. If we speed up time here, and actually, sorry, as I said, we're going to set him as the target. You see, he is 31 kilometers away and getting further away. 32 kilometers away, 32.3, 32.4. So he is going faster than us. So we're actually going to miss him on this loop around. We're going to probably meet him up here, perhaps, when our orbit gets a little bit narrower. So we're going to speed up. He's still going farther from us. Still going farther than us. So we're going to have to actually match up with him a while. So I'll fast forward time until he comes back around to us, and I'll see you guys then. So here we are still circling Kerbin, and I actually decided it was going to take way too long. So what I did is I adjusted my orbit so it's slightly below his orbit, which means we're orbiting faster than Kerbal is, which means we are going to catch up with Kerbal, as opposed to taking however many weeks or months or years it would have been for him to finally catch up to us. So you see he's down to 89 kilometers away, and that's just going to go up and up and up. And I'll see you guys once we get maybe within 10 kilometers of him. All right, so here we are. We're pretty darn close to him. We're about 6 kilometers, and we're starting to get farther away from him now, which means we've basically caught up with him. So he is... ooh, I don't necessarily want to be doing this on the dark side, but we do seem to have enough electric charge that I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay. How much charge do we use by turning? Well, a bit. So let's be careful with our turns. So our target is right there. There he is. There's Kerbal's capsule. So what we want to do is we want to speed ourselves up or slow ourselves down relative to his speed. So we click the little green thingy and we see that we're moving 26 meters per second relative to him. We want to make sure that we're moving at exactly the same speed as him. So we're going to slow down. So we're going to turn our engines on just a teeny tiny little bit. Well, a little bit more than that. And we're going to get that down to 0. And we're going to keep that in. 1.3, 1.2, 0.4. Our prograde vector is going crazy. Get back here, prograde vector. Get back here, prograde vector. All right, 0 seconds. So we're moving at exactly the same speed that he is. So now what do? Well, we fly to him. We just go straight over to him. I wish I kind of had lights because this probably isn't showing up that well on YouTube. Although I did find a setting that hopefully turns up the gamma to, maybe let you see the green dots at least on my battery packs. But we're going to fly straight over to our target, which is the pink node on your nav ball. And we're going to go full blast. And hopefully that's going to make him get closer. Okay, I was pointing at the prograde vector to my target. Or at the retrograde vector. Let's point at the prograde. That should get us closer to our target. So he's 8 kilometers away, 8.9 kilometers away, 9 kilometers. Our prograde vector has come around to him. So here we go. We're going to start getting closer to him. And I'm very carefully watching my fuel as well. It's actually ticking down an awful lot. I might have made too many mistakes on this mission. I might have made too many mistakes. Luckily, this is an unmanned pod. So, I guess there's that, right? Otherwise, we may be mounting a rescue mission for this ship. But let's go retrograde, because you see Kerbal is going to speed past us, because our relative velocity has, of course, changed a whole bunch. So we're going to try to pull that back down to 0. Nope. No such luck. There goes Kerbal. He's going the way he was always going. We're just going in a different direction. So I mismanaged my fuel here. I made a few mistakes with the orbit. So I will get us back into orbit, get us back into this plan with a new ship. Well, this ship, what's the ship going to do? Just orbit forever? Yes. Or sorry, no. At 29 kilometers, it will crash back to Kerbal. So I will actually recover this ship and get some prestige from it. And then I'll see you guys back in orbit with a ship, hopefully with enough fuel. Alright, so here we are, back in orbit. We are slightly below our target, who is somewhere. Where is he? Is that prograde or is that retrograde? That's retrograde. There we go. He's behind us. So we want to slow our speed down relative to him. So we need to burn at our our retrograde vector. So we're going to burn and get our speed down to basically 0. 0.1, that's good enough. See if we can actually get 0. 0.2, 0.1. All right, good enough. What we're going to do now is point at our target and fly to our target. And try not to fly too fast to it. So if we speed up a little bit, we should get close-ish to him, and we have a decent-ish amount of fuel. I hope it's enough, but we'll have to see. Alright, so our target's coming in pretty hot now. He's coming in pretty fast, so we're going to need to burn prograde in order to slow ourselves back down to his speed. So let's burn prograde now. Get our speed hopefully back to 0 with him. 3.7 meters per second. 2, 1, and 0. So we're going the same speed as him. And now he's only 220 meters away. So what we can do is we can floop back around and give ourselves just a little tiny boost. Just the tiniest amount of thrust possible. And we're going to fly back towards him. And this is how rendezvous kind of goes. I don't know if you can get super more accurate than this, but it's how I do it anyways. And we're going to slow down again back to 0. Close enough, but there's his capsule. So there we are, there he is. So what we can do is we can actually push square bracket, and we're now in Kerbal's capsule. It looks like he was in some sort of space plane type thing, and there he is. There's Kerbal Kerman. We can EVA him. Let's give him some lights. Pop him off of that ship. Get his jetpack on. And we're going to fly on over to this ship. And this may be a successful rescue mission. All we're going to have to do is get him back to Kerbal. So we just try to align him to the door here. Aligning isn't always the easiest. Grab on. Oh dear, he's flying off. Alright, let's try this again. I always have trouble getting the camera to work properly in EVA, but there we go. This should be a good approach. So we grab on, and we board. And Kerbal Kerman is off of his derelict vessel and onto one that will hopefully get him home. It looks like it has more than enough fuel. It has a parachute packed, so he's going to survive. So what do? Well, we burn prograde and we come back to the planet. It looks like we possibly did a contract. So Kerbal Kerman was added. So we actually get him now. He's part of our space program. If he's a pilot or a scientist or whatever he may be, we can use him. So he'll be part of our story with Franbel Kerman. And we saved him. So that part of the contract is complete. Now we just have to get him back to the surface of the planet, which should be fine. If we onset our target, and then just burn prograde, we should come back inside the atmosphere. Yeah, that will get us back into the atmosphere. So I'll speed this up and see you guys on touchdown. And here we are with our parachute deployed, coming back to the surface of Kerbal. You may notice that the batteries are missing. They kind of exploded on re-entry because they were sticking out so much from the heat shield, and my ship kept wobbling ever so slightly. They blew up. They got too hot and they exploded. Luckily, no damage to the ship. Kerbal Kerman is here safe and sound. We're even gonna bring him out and do an EVA report, because this looks kind of like the mountains, which I don't know if I've been to yet. EVA report, Highlands. Nope, I've been here. So we'll get back on into the ship. I said we'll get back on into the ship. There we go. And we'll recover that. And that is a Kerbal successfully recovered from the not quite deep reaches of space, more like the very, very close by reaches of space, but we still got him home. He was there. He was probably going to die, but we saved him. So we got no science because we didn't do anything. We got some funds back, of course, because we rescued the ship. So we returned the ship, so we got the value of those parts back, plus our contract funds. Kerbal Kerman gained 2 experience points. I wonder what he is. Let's take a look. Kerbal Kerman is a pilot, so we got another pilot. You might notice Guskar Kerman here. I forgot who Guskar was when I saw his derelict circling around. He was a guy who I practice rescued, basically, because I wasn't sure if I just totally forgot how to rendezvous with people, and I did a quick practice to make sure I could actually do it. But we have Guskar, Kerbal, and Franbel. We'll ignore Guskar. He's not part of our official canon story. It's going to be Kerbal and Franbel as our heroic heroes of our Kerbal space program. But we're back. We landed. We successfully did our contract. So, yeah, we have Mob Kerman still up there, who's going to stay up there for a while because we're going to need to get some pretty serious rockets going. Most notably, I think fuel lines are something we desperately need. And when we can get those, I'll kind of go over what fuel lines do and how to use them. But that's all for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at The Let's Play Leak and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Let's Play Leak. You've already found me here on YouTube. You've got the comment section below if you want it. If you like the videos, you should click those thumbs up icons. They let me know that you like the videos, the world know that you like the videos, and they keep my videos rising up through the ranks. As well, you should subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There is a button below each video. There is one in the outro of each video, and that'll keep you up to date on all the latest Kerbal Let's Play videos, Steam Roulettes, Interstellar Marines Hell Weeks, that may be a series, I think, and new game review overview things and all the other random videos that pop up here or there. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.